Hello, students. Today I wanted to share with you some work by Tyree Guyton, the Detroit artist who is the creator of the Heidelberg Project. You might remember his story from the book Magic Trash that Mrs. Nickerson read aloud in media. And Tyree Guyton, if you didn't know, was saddened to see his childhood neighborhood kind of fall into neglect and decay. And so he turned it into a living art installation starting in 1986, and it stands in different forms today. Here is Mr. Guyton right here. He also likes to show work in galleries around the nation and the world. And he is working to sort of transform the Heidelberg Project into a more of a service organization in the future years. But in the past, he has taken all sorts of recycled materials and worked on themes to convert the neighborhood into a colorful living art exhibit. One of the things that Tyree Guyton repeats as a motif is faces. And in the slideshow, you saw that there was something called Faces in the Hood, where he painted faces on the hood of old cars and then propped them up in the neighborhood. So we're going to be using Tyree Guyton's face motif as inspiration to make our own art project today using recycled materials. So the things that you're going to need is you're going to need something to sketch on. So I have a whiteboard right here. You're going to need scissors and glue. You're going to need a piece of colored paper. We used black here at school, and then your imagination to add all sorts of things. I'm going to show you how to draw the face, and then I'll show you how to get started. And then you can go ahead and put your own finishing touches on it. You're welcome to add words to your design in the background. In the example here, I have the word one, and then a heart to represent love. So it's based on the Bob Marley song, One Love, because one of the things that Tyree used as a theme in a lot of his artwork is that we are all one. We are all together. And then here is another one that's portrait style. This one is landscape style. So if you want to add words to the background, you should choose a landscape style. If you want to just have it be the face, then you would do portrait because it would fill the space up a little bit more and there wouldn't be as much background to deal with. You're also welcome to draw on it when you're done. If you have oil pastels or Sharpies or something that will show up on this, go right ahead. Well, let's begin, shall we? We're going to start off with the Tyree Guyton face. His artwork style is based in graffiti art, and it's very gritty. It's done fairly quickly. There's not a lot of pre-planning, but instead it's more of a flow. So when you're doing this project, you don't have to worry about having like a perfect idea up in your head. Just work, and during the process, ideas will come to you. To make the Tyree Guyton face, you're going to start off with a very large letter U shape like this. And they have kind of a square, boxy appearance, so you can just draw kind of like a flatter top to the head. You can leave it bald, or you can add hair if you like. And then the biggest distinctive thing that you're going to make is the big grin. So make a big shape, semicircle shape for your grin, and then an upside down number 7 for a nose. And then you can do big round eyes. You can do oval eyes. Just do eyes of your own choosing. I'm just going to do eyes here. Now, when you get to the collage part, though, you're going to want to make sure that you use a lot of overlapping shapes in the eyes. So it has less of a skull-like appearance or mask-like appearance and has a little more liveliness to it. So you can, do circles in the eyes or something like that. Finally, they have very strong neck and shoulders, and so you can draw some lines for the neck and then let it go off into the shoulders here. And you can add ears if you want. And like I said, you can add hair. But basically, that's the face that you're going to be starting off with, is this sort of big, smiling, simple face. So I'm going to set that aside. And next comes the way you're going to make the face. Now, you are going to be putting your own spin on this, but when you start, there's 2 different techniques that you can try. If you have a blank, colorful paper like this red sheet here, go ahead and draw and cut out your giant letter U from that blank sheet of paper and then paste it down. That way you can build up your scrap papers on top. However, if you're only working with recycled materials, you've got flyers, you've got magazines, you've got printed things, you're not going to want to do that, because if you do, you're not going to be able to see the faces showing up very well. So what you're going to want to do is just cut out the letter U and then cut out the inside of it. So I'll show you how to do that. You can glue it down, and then I will let you work on the rest. So I have a magazine right here that I'm going to cut up. Just go ahead, tear the page off of it. And then make sure that your U is going to be big enough. Don't make a little tiny one. Make it a little bit bigger. And then see if it's about the right size for the head. Like this. And that's pretty good. Now you can cut out the inside of it like this. All right. And then that can be the beginning of your project. Go ahead and take a glue stick, or if you use liquid glue, just make sure you don't use too much. I see some faces peeping out of here. I could leave those on, or I could flip it over and choose the other side for something that is a little harder to recognize. And I think I want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on this side and flip it over. Okay. And then after that, I can find a scrap of paper in a different color and cut out a mouth to go with it. So there's a purple square right here. I can kind of flip through and see if there's anything colorful that I want to borrow. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use that purple square for the mouth. I could use these paint bottles. That would be good too. Or I could use this right here. I could use this. Cut out my mouth. That's too big. And then glue the mouth on when it's ready. That's still too big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Perfect. Okay, I can use that. And then when you get to your eyes, overlap different shapes to create the eyes. Also, when you're cutting out shapes for the eyes, if you fold the paper in half, you can cut them both out at once and build up your designs. After you get the face built, work on the hair. If you're doing ears, you can work on the ears. Make sure it's not just a floating head, but you add some sort of neck and shoulders like we did in the sketch. When it's all done, you can either cut out letters by drawing the shapes on the paper and then cutting them out, or you can find letters in the things that you've recycled and you can spell out words in the background. You can draw on it with oil pastels if you have that available to you. Make sure you use lots of overlapping shapes. More overlapping shapes will make for a more interesting to look at design. And it's also fine to crumple your paper. It's fine to rip the paper. It's fine to fold the paper for a little bit of extra texture when you're creating your design. So go ahead, create your design, get it all finished. And when it's done, you can upload it to Canvas or Buzz. And I can't wait to see what you're doing. All right. Have fun creating. Go scrounge through some recycling, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.